All right, so this is a quick overview of my setup in Notion for my business. So if you don't know me, hello, I'm Caroline. I am the owner of the Swedish Organizer LLC, and we run everything in Notion. We have for a few years now, and it's been working really, really great. So it's a tool that I highly recommend. I love it for project management. I teach it a lot to my clients as well as in my courses, and it's just one of the most customizable pieces of software I've ever come across. So I really enjoy it a lot, and I highly, highly recommend it. And you can start with a free account, see how it feels. There could be quite a high learning curve because it's so customizable and you're basically starting from scratch. So I kind of liken it to building your own little Lego universe. If you like that sort of thing, then you're going to love Notion. If you love customization, you're going to love Notion. However, if you get scared by looking at a blank page, or perhaps if you haven't set up a system like that before, you might want to take a look at some of the templates that they have that you can import and start from there. You know, it's easier when you don't have to start from scratch. Or also feel free to contact me at any time. I do coaching, like I said, and I have classes on this and all of that. So whatever your level is, there's always something out there for you. And what I want to just go through is just a high-level overview because we have a lot of things in Notion, so it would take all day to go through everything. But just to give you an overview, our team space is called the Swedish Organizer. Obviously, we have a company dashboard with just some quick links. And when you go into the system, then you see that we use the PARA system for organizing our information. So we have our projects, we have areas of fulfillment and operations, we have resources, and then we have the archive. And we work a lot with contextual databases. So a lot of this is all interconnected right together. And I'll show you that in just a moment. And then we also have a Q&A help page where my team and I chat. So basically, we use the chat functions. And then, you can also get to that from the inboxes so that we don't have to call each other or anything like that. We can just kind of tag each other in documents and timestamp it and go back and forth like that. We also have individual HQ, what we call HQ pages, which is, a database with a specific view just for you, what you are working on. So I, as the owner of the company, have a page called Caroline HQ, and you can see that once it loads here, it's going to be tailored specifically to the things that I'm working on. So, I have my colors and I have my quotes and I have all of the links that I need, all of my daily things, my calendar, my active projects. It's taking a moment to load here. So this is what I'm working on this week. We have upcoming projects, and this is actually all the same database. It's just embedded with different filters and different views multiple times. And that's the beautiful thing about Notion, is that you can create so many amazing views from one database so that different people can look at different things. So for example, I am looking at all of the projects filtered by date. But if you go back to my team member, for example, Amy, let's go into her HQ page. She has things filtered based on the things that she's working on. So she doesn't need to see all the things that I'm doing. It just would distract her, right? So she has a specific page that she can go to, and that's all she needs to see. So I actually sort of keep my team members out of the project management system quite a bit. What I do is personalize pages for them with all of the links and all of the updates and the calendar things and all that, policies, SOPs, all of the things that they need to see. And then I basically hide all the other things. So if we just quickly look at Amy's page here, you can see that she has her quick links, to that Q&A page, our company policies, our system, meeting agendas, and things like that, upcoming meetings. And again, she can look on a timeline. She can look on a calendar or as a table. And again, this is a database from our main task list that's just completely filtered for her specifically. So she sees any task that is assigned to her that is not complete and not discarded. And then when she updates that, it goes and resets in our system. So we have a lot of contextual databases that we're working with, and it's great. And I'll show you another example in a moment in our systems and operations dashboard. If we go to another team member, for example, Dragana, who does live event support for us, you can see that her page looks entirely different. And the reason for that is because she's doing a different job than Amy. So she doesn't need to see what Amy sees. She needs to see what she's working on. So you can see it's the same formatting with her quick links and team meetings and all of that and her assigned tasks. And you can see that it's the same database, but it's all filtered for her. So, there's a lot of things that you can do with Notion in terms of views, in terms of getting exactly to the right information that you want. It has an amazing search function up here, so we can always search for something. They give you actually now, it didn't used to be there. We obviously set this up a long time ago before they introduced this feature, but they now have a home dashboard, so you don't actually have to set that up on your own anymore. It just shows you automatically some of the most frequently visited things, pages and tasks and all that you have. So, depending on how you want your Notion set up to be, you can completely customize it. And that's what's so beautiful about it. It's also the most intimidating thing about it because, if you don't have an idea around where to start, it can be a little tricky to get it right. But once you get it right, man, oh man, is it fantastic. So that was our basic overview. We have our dashboard with all of the company information. For example, if we go in here into projects, we have all of our projects in here, so anybody technically could come in and actually look at all of the projects that we've got going, by the status, but they don't need to because they will just go to their own page and look at only the projects that they are working on. They don't need to see anything else. So that's the biggest thing that I really love about Notion is the ability to use one database and filter and view and embed and publish and all of that. And I'll give you a really good overview of how things link together. So if we go to our systems page, for example, let's pull this up. Might take a moment to load, but bear with me. Here we go. So this is the main basic page where we have all of our SOPs, workflows, policies, tools, team roles, and tags. And you can see here that all of our SOPs are actually in one database. But then on my team members' HQ pages, I embed this database and I filter only the ones that apply to the job that they're doing. So they don't need to, browse through every single SOP that we have. They can always search for one, in the search if they want to see it, but they don't actually have to do that. Everything is sort of spoon-fed to them. So this is how we do SOPs. Here we have all the list. Let's see if I can open one to show you. They are all numbered for a department, so either growth, fulfillment, or operations. That is how I categorize my systems in my business. So in this particular SOP, you can see that it's how to create a pinnable for a blog post in Canva. SOP number 6, it's the current one that we're using that's active. And here's, who it applies to and the tools you need, how long it takes and all of that. Here's the workflow for it. So it's all interlinked. And that's what I mean when I say contextual databases and linking, is that all of our SOPs are related. Basically, we use a lot of relations. So if I click here, you can see that this is related to an offer that we have, right? And here is the standard operating procedure. We also have a copy of it in Google Drive. Here's the workflow that it's related to. So I can just click on that to go to the workflow. Let me pull that up for you. And here are other SOPs that this one is particularly related to. So then I can go here. Here comes that one. If you go into that one, it's taking a moment to load because I'm on slow Wi-Fi today, so bear with me. But you can see that a lot of things are interlinked, and that's the beautiful thing about Notion is you can interlink pretty much anything anywhere between databases, between pages, between people, and what happens then is that all roads lead to Rome. You will always be able to find what you're looking for, so it's super efficient. So here, for example, is an SOP for how to do content research on Google, for my content researcher and copywriter blog editor. Here's how the resources, the video for some reason has undone. Of course it has, now that I'm showing it, but there's usually a video there. I have to relink that one. Here is how you can read it in the steps if you are not into watching the video, and then some Q&A and a completion checklist. So that lives again in the SOP database. And here I have them organized by department, whether they're active or not. Here are a few that we need to update. It's not a static thing, right? We need to update a few of them, and then you can go to all of them if you want to. These are, again, all different views, but it's all the same database. So that's really beautiful. If I go back to the systems page, I just like showing that one because it's the most obvious one that you can see. All right, so same thing for our policies. You can see here we have company policies, active ones, archived ones, policies to update. Again, I embed those. Whoever it applies to gets them embedded in their HQ page. So that's really useful so that nobody needs to go digging for anything. It just kind of shows up. We also have all of our team roles here and who is in charge of what. All of the hubs and tools that we use. Here we go. And what you can do then is basically click on one, go into it, and have all the information about that particular tool. So, let's see if I have a better example. Handbrake, for example, which is a conversion tool. So let's say that somebody in my company wanted to use Handbrake and they had never done it. Then they would go in here, and here they would be able to find all of the SOPs and the links and all of that. It's taking a bit of time to load, so I'm just not going to wait for it, but just take my word for it. Another example here, keywords everywhere. Same thing, you would come in here if you wanted to use that, and you could see all the links. Again, I don't know why the videos are not loading, but I'll have to just have the internet be a little faster. But this is where basically I embed all of the information, help tutorials, links, so that people can come in and actually self-help, so they don't have to ask me for everything. Like if somebody on my team wanted to use Graphic Converter, or Handbrake, they would just come in here, look, and that all the links to tutorials are there, all of our SOPs are there, everything is there, so that they don't need to contact me for help. They can actually just check it out and do all that stuff on their own. So that's super useful. And then we also have our tags, and just like how you would do a tagging system in Lightroom, for example, we have a similar tagging system in Notion for everything. So it's all metadata, basically, that we search for. So yeah, I hope that gives you an overview. Again, we work a lot with databases and then interlinking and using context and views in order to see what we need to see every single time. Everything is very organized, it's clean, it's easy to publish something out to the web if we want to, it's easy to keep things private if we want to. you'll see that I have Caroline's private world here as well. Those are pages that my team members cannot see. So I can have my own stuff in there, but I can also have my company stuff in there, and they will only see what they have access to. So it's a super handy dandy system. I highly recommend it. I hope you check it out. There are a lot of tutorials out there. There are a lot of templates you can use to get started. So give it a try, see if you like it. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm happy to show something like this, over a Zoom call, or answer any questions, because I use it every day and I can't recommend it enough. So hopefully that helped. All right, take care. Bye.